Another production.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shabazz. Welcome to what the hell? You good, bro? Oh shit. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shabazz. Welcome to the channel. Alongside Natty Baps, of course. We are the Baptiste Bros. This was a very, in the best way, the nicest way possible, a complete shit show. Fuck happened, yo. Yo, I went 5-9 on my picks and against the spread last week. How the fuck does this happen? There are some games I completely called on the head, and there last seconds, motherfuckers had to come back, and I was like, all right. But it's cool. It's cool. It's a new week. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow, but for this, we gotta recap what happened. Now, there's a lot of pain in terms of parlays that I made. Well, one thing I was saying, I would be $200 richer, literally, because everything else hit except for the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns got spanked by 22. I needed them to lose by one parlay by 16, and another parlay by 10. If they had covered that, I would be $200 richer. But hey, it's life for football.
Such is life.
Such is life, It's evil. But I did know something new. Shout out to you, because the free bet, I would have wasted it all on one particular bet, but now I know that if I ever got a free bet, I can just break it piece in parts. So hey, that was fun. So how you feeling? You feeling good?
Man, you was 5-9. I was 7-7. I was nice Jason Garrett, 500. We get through every game, of course, and literally it was like I was right, wrong. And yeah, obviously another week down. That's week 10 down, like 10 weeks down. We got about 7 more to go. Or no, 11, 12, 13, 8 more to go. Sorry. Week 18 now. There's a week 18. Obviously, we got Thanksgiving next weekend. But that's looking into the past of next weekend. We gotta focus on what just happened. That's not past, the future for next weekend. The past is a past. We're gonna recap it. But before we begin, drop a like. You gotta subscribe if you're new. Tell your friends to tell their friends. And let's get right.
Okay. No, that was very enthused. So Thursday night, the Panthers surprisingly, the Panthers. Yeah, Panthers surprisingly beat the Falcons. Like, a lot of people had the Falcons actually winning this game because Cordell Patterson was there. Mariota wasn't messing up, but he wasn't really being impressive. You made a last minute change. That's all I'm gonna say.
I looked at the injury report. What do you mean?
Bro,
I
I
looked
feel
at the injury report.
the main reason that the Panthers won this game, in my opinion, is because of Mariota. Mariota sold the Falcons big time. He had Kyle Pitts wide open like numerous times and didn't pass it. Drake London, who hadn't gotten a touchdown, he didn't gotten a lot of yards since like week 3, finally pops up for something. They need a quarterback change. Desmond Ritter, I know he's a rookie. Throw that motherfucker in there and hope he can sink or swim. Sink or swim at this point because they still viable in that division. They're still viable. So you gotta do something. Like obviously you guys are healthy, but you're like you got like a mini bye. I hate when they say it mini bye, but it really is a mini bye. You play on Sunday. I forgot who you play. You play something. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Toronto.
Chicago.
That's a winnable game. It's a winnable game. Hey, winnable game against Chicago. Yo, players get healthy. I don't know. Our quarterback change needs to happen because I'm tired of Mariota just running the ball himself and missing open guys. Like if he was running it and throwing it to people like a Justin Fields or Lamar, Justin. I said Justin Herbert. Even Justin Herbert too, but Jalen Hurts. Like they didn't have good showings this week, but they still were able to historically run the ball with themselves and throw the ball. Marcus Mariota at this moment, he's 29. I think he just turned 30. Bro, where is your arm at, bro?
Hey,
like it's getting me tight because like damn, like Cordell Patterson is there. You got Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts, who literally on any other team would be awesome, but he's on the Falcons, and I'm like, yo, bro, like they holding on ins. And everyone's calling him a bum because everyone calling him a bum because he can't get the targets and the touches and the touchdowns that everyone expects him to be. That's why he's drafted like a top 3 tight end. Because we all see the talent, but his circumstances is not there. But hey, good win by the Panthers. This dude Baker Mayfield out here getting concussions because he want to headbutt motherfuckers, which got me so tight because it's fuck Baker always. But like you had to make yourself like you just had to. Your ego couldn't let like PJ Walker shine. Like you had to make yourself a part of the media for a little bit. Like that shit like that is why I don't like him at all. You feel me? So, but
hey, he's starting on Sunday against your team. So obviously,
come on now.
We'll talk about picks tomorrow, but barbecue chicken. The Panthers handled business. I'll say this: the Panthers handled business. Now, DJ Moore didn't have that explosive game that he had against the Falcons 2 weeks ago, but he was solid. He was serviceable, made clutch catches when it needs to. It was like raining. It was like a fucking hurricane, and then like it wasn't windy, but it was rain. Like I think players rather play when it's raining, but with no wind. All right, cool. The wind, rain. Yeah, ball was a little slick here and there. Players were slipping around and shit like that. But like they rather play with that than wind because wind makes everybody suck. So with rain, you just gotta have sure hands. PJ Walker, hey, didn't turn the ball over. Took care of business, Deontay Foreman, shout out to him. He literally, McCaffrey got traded, and everyone's like, oh, they have no running back. And then he's like, nah, I'm him, Himothy, him and Neutron. Like, he ran, the Falcons can't stop the run. They can't. And the Panthers are like, all right, our rookie-ish quarterback, he's not a rookie, but like a young quarterback who's still like trying to get like reps and get up there. All right, let's run the ball. Let's play good coverage. And the defense, again, I've said this a lot. The Panthers, 2 weeks aside, we play the Bengals, who have one of the best offenses in the league. And the Falcons, when they're at home, have a fantastic offense. On the road, not so much. So it's like the 2 weeks aside, they had beaten Tom Brady, like shut him down. Obviously, New Orleans, like that's aside, it's not really a fun thing to say anymore. And the Rams, who also aren't a fun thing to say, we're going to talk about them later. Like the Panthers defense is legit. They just came up against buzzsaws back-to-back weeks, and then it's over. The Panthers defense sucks. Now, unfortunately, going against the Ravens offense, like on Sunday.
Off a bye, rested.
like John Harbaugh off buys. It's kind of like Andy Reid, kind of like Mike Tomlin, kind of like Bill Belichick off buys. Pretty much a lock for them to win. But hey, crazy things have happened, which we'll talk about later on. But shout out to Panthers. You're making the NFC South a little bit more competitive, which that's all I can talk about. But speaking of the NFC South, fucking Seahawks want to fucking choke. Hey, Nick Wright was talking about this. He was like, I'm fading Seahawks because they have a long travel to Germany. And it for like the first 3 quarters, it felt as though, the Seahawks were not like up to the challenge. Now, and shout out to my boy Corbett, watch football with him a lot. And Akeem Hicks is on the Bucks. I did not know that. And Akeem Hicks is probably one of, if not the best run-stopping defensive tackle in the league. He's old as shit. But when it comes to stopping the run, that boy gets paid. He get paid to stop the run. That's why Kenneth Walker didn't really have that like monster game everyone was thought he was gonna have. He came back down to earth a little bit. So I'm only talking to Seahawks if you want to talk Bucks. Seahawks, man, Geno Smith, that like joyride he had kind of fell down a little bit. Now the Bucks defense is, solid in front 7. Back end can get a little shaky. But when you can't establish the run, and Geno Smith does this pretty well, play action. If you can't establish the run and play action, well, most quarterbacks don't really work. They run first. They want to be a run first team. And when you go, like the defense held its own ish, but the Bucks were getting like chunk plays, especially from Rachaad White, which crazy. He like Fournette was like not 100%. They're like, all right, bet. Boom, let's give this second year rookie or second year player a chance. And boom, he ended up going crazy. So shout out to the can't even say that with a full sentence. Can't even say it. Can't even finish the sentence. But hey, Seahawks, they got a bye. They get a little bit healthier. And I don't know who they got after the bye, but who knows? Pete Carroll is also one of those good coaches that after buys, the schedule gets a little tough because you got to play the Niners again. And they got to play the Chiefs. So can the Seahawks hold for serve and win a couple games that they're not supposed to? Maybe split because the Niners game is at Seattle. So maybe if they win that, they have a tiebreaker and they can win the division. But hey, the Seahawks, they're still viable, still a great NFC team. Geno Smith, still a good story. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, so for me, my outlook on this game is couple fold, right? So one, Bucks should have lost. The Bucks should have lost. Because for 3 quarters, as you mentioned, they were the better team. They were clicking. Julio was looking like 2015 Julio. Like, he was looking like he was him. Like that 30-yard scamper, he was like, and was not touched until he got into the end. So he even, like, lunged in there. Like, that was the Julio that everyone was like, oh, we want to see that more. Like, that was perfect, right? Like, Evans didn't really get involved a lot, but he had some clean catches like DJ Morgan on Thursday where, like, when he caught the ball, it was for, like, a third down conversion or a good, like, second and 10, make it, like, third and short. Rachaad White was the story for the offense because he was the guy, like, once Lenny went down with the hip, and shout out to Matt real quick. He was so mad because he had a parlay where the Bucks had to win. And Lenny had to get, I think, like 50-something yards. And he was 3 yards short, and then he got injured, and then he was like, damn. So sorry, Matt. Shout out to you. But back to the game, I feel like the defense was solid, but the offense got stale in the fourth because there was just something. If you were watching the game, I was like, okay, they're getting but once Geno made that fumble, I thought it was over, completely over.
Yeah.
But then they got the pick. Tyreek Woodland. I keep saying Woodland. He got another pick. Like, this dude is like a magnet. Him and CJ Gardner-Johnson are just magnets for the ball this year. Sorry, that's a sore spot. Sorry, not you. But like they tried to do the trickery once. They tried it. It worked a little bit, but then they tried to do it again and actually throw the ball to Tom Brady. And he was like, nah, it's over. So once that happened, the momentum was going. It was going. But then it just They got the touchdown to Tyler Lockett, then they got the touchdown to Goodwin. But then after that, they needed one more drive, and they couldn't get it. Both teams have buys. I'm more impressed with Seattle in the loss though, because they, even if they couldn't establish the run, they still tried and they kept it close. The Bucks, this is so mad because we everyone was doubting Tom Brady, but we like, yo, like this is like the epitome of like, yo, like we were aspiring a little bit, but they got back-to-back wins. Now they're on a bye week, and now could just run the table low key because they play the Saints again, they play the Falcons again, and they play the Panthers again. Those are 3 winnable games there, and you probably got some like in betweens there, some winnable games as well. So hey, I would not be surprised if the Bucks just went apeshit crazy and won the division handily, and or be a top 3 seed. It's definitely doable. It's definitely doable. But shout out to both teams. They played hard. Germany, potential.
Shout out to Germany. Shout out to Germany.
Great crowd. Like literally every time the ref was talking, like it was pandemonium. So like that's like NFL purists like us, like we love that kind of small detail where like, yo, like we go to another country. Like it happened in London too. Every time like the ref was talking, personal foul, passing interference, whatever. Go
crazy. But we're cheering anyway. Like it's awesome. And like I think you've seen the clip where it's like, I hope everyone, if you're watching this, Google this clip. Like the end of the game, they were singing Sweet Caroline. Also like some song they were
Country
singing.
Road, Take Me Home.
Oh yes, Old Country Road, Take Me Home, like West Virginia, right? That, and they were just singing for like a good like minute straight. And this is Germany. Germany was singing this song. And I was like, okay, go for it. And then even after the game, like they were just, nobody left. Like the broadcast was saying that like everybody was like, nobody was leaving their seats. Everyone was there just enjoying the atmosphere. Even Tom Brady talked about it. Chris Godwin talked about it. It's like the Germany fans, international fans, like NBA was a global sport, like was the global sport for a long time, especially with the boom with like Kobe and stuff like that. But soccer was always international sport, or football, if you will. Now NFL is starting to get to that level where people are recognizing the sport and why we love it so much. So shout out to Germany. You guys were great hosts. But you guys could have seen. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I got to talk my shit first about the Vikings. But before that, I would not be surprised because they've been talking about expanding the season. I would not be surprised if we see more international games. Because we had, I think, 4.
Yeah, it was Giants and Packers, Saints, Vikings,
Broncos,
Jaguars,
Jags,
and then they played Mexico City next this Monday coming up.
So 5 international games in the season. I feel like I would not be surprised if, because I know they want to expand to 20 weeks, to 20 games. I'm sorry, if we have like a few more in different countries every season, and then just have it 2 buys and like scheduling the logistics of the scheduling that will have to be worked out somehow. But I would not be surprised in like a couple of years from now because they see the massive success that it's gotten. And hey, who wouldn't mind basically all day football? Like, who wouldn't mind that? Yeah, I know I wouldn't. But game of the year. Oh my gosh. Vikings. Hell to the fucking Vikings, Eric. Stop playing with me, Eric. Stop. I called the upset. Even if Josh Allen was playing, I was like, upset alert. Fuck are you talking about?
I said the same thing.
Nah,
I called it. I called it.
We called it. We called it. Bat your chest, actually. Bet your chest. We called that shit. Yeah, nigga. Fuck out of here. Nah, but this was a great game. Great game. My takeaway is more so on the Vikings for 2 reasons. One, what did I say? What did I say when we were doing wide receivers? What did I say? I said Justin Jefferson is about to be the best receiver in the league. He is him. Now Tyreek Hill definitely is he having a great season too. But bro, the clutch catch after catch after catch in the fourth quarter and overtime to help them put them in the best position to win that game. They do not win this game without 3 people. Dalvin Cook, because that 71. He's saying 71, but I definitely think it was 81. But the massive run that he did for a touchdown, right? Now, to be fair, he almost sold the game too, but it was an offside, so he almost sold it. So that's why I put him third. Justin Jefferson too, even with the monster game he had, but Patrick Old Man Peterson, 2 picks in the end zone, 2 of them tangs, 1 to seal a game. Those 3 players are the MVPs of the game. Kirk Cousins tried his best to sell the bag. They had the game. They had all the momentum. But they got stopped in 4th and goal, which was a benefit because Josh Allen, I'm pretty sure you're going to talk about the Bill side, he fumbled. He fumbled the bag, literally and figuratively, fumbled the bag. Because another week, multiple turnovers, back-to-back weeks with multiple turnovers. He now leads the league in interceptions. So he's low-key out of the MVP conversation now. He might get back in because they only have 3 losses, but like, yo, they gotta lock in somehow. But back to the Vikings, they found a way to win, and then the Eagles lost. Now they're tied for first, but the Eagles have the tiebreaker. So like, if the Eagles lose again, and the Vikings keep finding ways to win those close games, hey, it could be a Minneapolis Purple Eater playoff, man. I ain't gonna lie. So great win for the Vikings. I was like, this game is over. Like once they got it over, I was like, GG's. And then Matt was like, no way. I'm like, what you mean no way? What you mean? And then I see it on Renzo. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, so great win for the Vikings. And that's just how can you not like fuck with them? Like, how can you not like that team? Because like that team they're playing as a team. They do their celebrations on the plane. Like that just like they're just a fun team to watch. They gotta stop being in those close ones though. They gotta like try to pull away from a team if they got a lead and not keep it as close because eventually they're gonna slip up. This was their problem last year, and when they had there's on the opposite side of those. Like they were losing a lot of those close ones. Now they're winning those close ones, but you only go so far when winning those close games before something happens and your whole thing spirals. So close out better, start better because he started all right, and then he threw a pick, and it was just oh my god. But they came back, they won. Shout out to the Vikings. That is all. Fuck the Bills.
So yeah, you kind of mentioned a lot of shout out to Justin Jefferson. You was right. Okay, Jamar Chase got hurt, but just don't throw it out there. But consistency, being there, like that's something you need to have. Thanks for the follow, the legend Jake 69.
Legend Joke 69. Yeah, go to YouTube though. Go to YouTube. Subscribe to ShabazzTV. That's my YouTube channel as well. So if you go on YouTube, put in ShabazzTV and subscribe to that, I'll appreciate you joking. Go ahead, Nacho.
Back to Justin Jefferson. That catch when me, Corbett, the chat, we all this discussion. I think that was the best catch. Okay, obviously non-playoff catches aside, because David Tyree, like
Holmes, toe drag at Super Bowl,
Julian Edelman bowling the play, like there are Super Bowl catches that are like obviously insignificance greater, and then OBJ is just like that one is just pure like athleticism, cool, like falling backwards and grab a ball, palm it, and be able to catch it, cool. But when it comes to situationally, fuck it, someone's down there and someone needs to make a play, and you give it to your best guy, and he makes the play one-handed, falling back, and also, hey, if it wasn't for the DB, it's triple cover. He's covered. He is blanketed. He has so many people paws on top of him that like it's crazy. So he still is able to maintain and hold on to the ball and reel it in. And then that said that basically I was like, oh, Vikings are winning this game. They're winning this game. Then eventually they did get stuffed. But then hey, Josh Allen. We talked about this since the summer, since preseason. We were saying he was going to win MVP. We were saying we were on the we were like, he's winning MVP. And then he starts off massively improving. He's doing everything. He's being Superman. And then just like last year, and Nick, we talk about FS1 a lot. We love Nick Wright. We love first things first. After last year, think about last year. They
Beat the Chiefs.
they
They smoked
beat
the Chiefs.
down. What happened after that? They lost to Jacksonville. They lost to teams that they should not have lost to. Like they found the way to just choke and disappear. Same thing this year. They beat the Chiefs. It seems as though they made their team to beat the Chiefs, which is cool. But not every team is like the Chiefs. Not every team is going to throw the ball like 40 times and be able to, hey, you can't stop me. Sometimes, like the Jets, they want to run the ball. And sometimes you are up 14 points on both the Jets and the Vikings.
In the fourth.
And then the fourth quarter happens and you just sell the bag. Interceptions in the red zone. Like, you don't want to throw interceptions anywhere, especially in the red zone. When you're so close, hey, why are you trying to force a play? Why are you trying to force a play? That interception he threw to Patrick Peterson the first time, he didn't have to throw the ball at all. He could have tried to run it and then, all right, we'll settle for 3, kick a field goal, boom, go up 10, and then game not so much over, but it's still a chance. You know what? You're comfortable with going up 10. No, but you want to be a hero. I'm not, and Stephen A, he had says like that the phrase hero ball has a negative connotation where it's like you're trying to take all the glory. But when you're trying to do everything by yourself and not rely on, hey, for the first half, they ran the ball. They ran the ball. They was like, Josh Allen, we don't want you to really throw the ball like that. And they ran the ball with Devin Singletary. Got 2 touchdowns. Had a massive kickoff return that helped that. But they were able to run the ball, at least, and then stopped. They said, no, fuck it. We got to let Josh Allen cook and let him run. It's a shame that we talk about this every single week. The Bills' downfall will be that they cannot run the ball when it matters most. They don't have a 4-minute offense. They have a score fast, and if we don't score, we punt it right back to you. It's either we're going to go 3 and out or we're going to score a touchdown. They don't have a milk the clock, run, first down. They don't have that kind of offense, which is going to be their downfall. Because, not now, they are 3rd in the AFC East. They lost to Miami. They lost to the Jets. And right now, based on how they're playing, I think they are the 3rd best team in the AFC East. And it all starts with the quarterback. Yes, Josh Allen probably is the best quarterback in that division. The Tua, as Jake says, Tua is playing amazingly right now. The Dolphins as a whole are playing amazingly right now. And it's like, if Josh Allen wants to be that MVP, wants to take that next step and not improve that, it's not just Brian Daboll that made him good. It's him getting better and better. His decision-making has to get better. And also, the reason why I was so confident in the Vikings, not because it was 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins, but the fucking elbow. I don't know how many times he threw the ball. Let me find this out right now. I don't know.
40 times.
He threw the ball so many times on a bad elbow. Like, why? That's just a poor coaching effort from Sean McDermott. Yes. Did it absolutely hurt? No. Like, it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt his performance. The Bills should have won. They're up 14. Cool. That's fine. But the fact that they still tried to run the ball regardless. Kirk Cousins threw the ball 50 times. Josh Allen threw the ball 43 times. He was 29 for 43 for 330 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. And then ran the ball for another 84 yards.
Too much. Why are you running the ball when you're and then before you move on as well, he threw the first pick. He tried to tackle him. Lift the bad elbow. Like you're putting yourself. The same thing happened with Baker, and Baker was never the same after he hurt his shoulder. Like, bro, I fucked up my shoulder when I hopped over that gate. My shoulder still hurts a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Gate 1, Shabazz 0. But like, yo, my shoulder still hurts, bro. You're a quarterback. You need to throw the ball. You cannot mess up your elbow, your arm, your hand. Nothing on your right side cannot be messed up. Why are you risking yourself for a play? You can just get that back. There was someone definitely going to tackle him anyway. Someone tackled him anyway. It wasn't you. Why would you try to put yourself in that situation? Because then when you got hurt, what would have happened? Everyone would have been flaming Coach McDermott. Like, oh, you should never let him out in the first place. He got hurt. That was his fault. That's his fault. There's coaches are there to reel back the players. The same thing happened with Andy Reid when Patrick Mahomes goes on these spirals of like multiple interception games, fumbles, whatever. He wants to get wild, Andy Reid rolls him back in. And Colin Cowherd always says this, and it's finally registering in a lot of people's minds. Josh Allen needs to be reeled back in. And Brian Dable, the loss of Brian Dable is not paying dividends, but it's paying like I don't know what the negative is, but it's being like impacted. Like you can clearly see his impact is gone and missing. And Daniel Jones, he's reeling Daniel Jones in, not making the mistakes. We're gonna talk about the Giants later. They played a good game as well. But you're seeing that impact of missing Brian Dable. Now, Ken Dorsey, he's not there. He's in the booth. I don't know if he needs somebody like next to him, like an Eric Bieniemy, like yo, like talking with him and not at him, but with him. Hey, I don't know. But he's still young. That's the thing. He's also still very young, too. So
yeah, for sure. All right. But that's a great game of the year for so far. And then we had two teams, Tank Bowl. Shout out to Urinating Tree. But hey, we talked about it on Wednesday last week that Justin Fields, this is the type of game he should have won. And literally, he did everything in his power to win the game. Now the pick notwithstanding.
Pick six?
Pick notwithstanding. Pick six notwithstanding. 2 touchdowns passing. People say he can't throw the ball. And 2 touchdowns rushing when he had it was like a 61-yard touchdown run. And literally, I'm like, damn. Like once he left the pile, I was like, yeah, he's gone. And Corey was like, what do you mean? I'm like, he's gone. And then he watched it and it's like, oh yeah, he's gone. Like it was over. Like he is probably the fastest quarterback right now and faster than Lamar. Because Lamar hurt himself. He got hurt. Hey, it happens with age. He lost a little step. He's quick. He's shifty. Lamar is shiftier than Justin Fields. But just pure sprint speed, I think Justin Fields got him. But that's a debate that you want to have. That's a good debate. It's a good conversation. The Bears defense fucking sold the bag. The Bears defense, I know losing Robert Quinn and losing Roquan Smith and losing Khalil Mack in the offseason, I know that your defense is going to take a hit. I know that. And they did a pretty decent job on stopping the run. But you let Jared Goff, who hasn't had a good game in weeks, turn into prime Drew Brees out here, dinking and diving. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, shout out to him, my fantasy teams, plural teams. He is, he's like a less, well, he's talked about a lot because it's the Lions, but like it's not talked about because it's the Lions. But he reminds me of a young-ish, I want to say like a young-ish Michael Thomas, where he wasn't bringing you over the top, but it was just like 10 yards here, 8 yards here, 7. Like somehow, some way, Drew Brees was getting the ball to Michael Thomas, and you knew it was happening. You knew it was going to him. The same thing with Amon-Ra. He's hey, boom, boom, digs, boom, comebacks, boom, slants, boom, curls,
ins and outs, yeah, ins and outs.
Always open. He's getting the ball. He's getting force-fed the ball because nobody else on the lines is good. And it's good for him. Hey, shout out to him. PPR legend right now. But hey, the Bears defense needs to get better. Now, I wish I could bring Corbin on the show. He has stuff going on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. He tells me this all the time. This is it's weird to say this. It's so weird to say this when I hear him say it, but he's so right. These are the best things that can happen. These kind of games are the best things that can happen, where you're like, oh, Justin Fields is that guy. He is Himothy. Your quarterback, you're good. You don't have to worry about the quarterback for the next 10 years. Cool. Now we want to see him. We want to see him in action, and people are going to be watching Bears game because of it. And then we're all unanimously going to agree that it's not his fault, and we're also going to agree that, damn, at some point, like they have 8 draft picks, millions of dollars in cap space. They're gonna revamp that defense. So this is like, and then he told me like, this is the situation you want. You want to analyze your talent, figure out what you have or don't have, and also make games interesting. You want to be bad, yeah, we're a higher draft pick, but you also want to be exciting. The Bears are excitingly bad because any game they play, shout out to the lock that I had. Any game they have, they're going to score. Now, can they stop somebody else from scoring? Maybe not. But they are going to score, and they are exciting to watch. shout out to Chicago as a city. I love you guys, but man, that defense got to get it together.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. And literally the kicker sold because if you missed the extra point, then but the Lions dead scored. I don't know what's going on with the Lions, right? Now, when I say this, I mean it in a way that DeAndre Swift is clearly better than Jamal Williams. I think we all can agree on that. But he's getting outsnapped. It's kind of like a Tony Pollard Zeke situation. Now, I don't know why this is the case. I'm not in the Lions room. I'm not a Lions fan. I don't know. But hey, shout out to Jamal Williams because he was the last leg I needed so I could cash out because Derrick Henry didn't score a touchdown against the Broncos. But hey, good defense. Whatever. I don't know what to make of this game for the Lions. There's not really much to say. Like they won the game. They were favored to they were underdogs, so they won. Awesome sauce. Hey, like that's what happens. That's honestly what happens. So shout out to them, I guess. I can't really tell you much. More so on the brothers. Everything you said, nail on the head. Like good foundation, like building the foundation now. And you could tell with Matt Eberflus, like you can tell, like there's some defensive coaches who should not be coaches, like a Mike Zimmer, no shade, but like he's young, he gets the best out of his players, and like you can kind of tell that he's trying to set something up in the right direction. Bless you. And hey, like you said, they can lose, which will be a blessing, a win-win because Justin Fields gets the notoriety. They say, "Oh, we have somebody," like you mentioned. Bless you. You got sneeze again?
I'm good.
And now you can evaluate your team and look at what you need. Like you definitely need a corner. You need an edge rusher. You need offensive lineman. Those are the. I know Khalil Herbert's out. He's on IR now. Now this is the David Montgomery show. Can he get back to where he was last year? Where he was out here getting like 3 yards after like leading the league of yards after contact, like type shit. Like, can he get back to that? I hope so. I think so. They play the Falcons, who have a horrible run defense. So I think him and Justin Fields go off. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But an interesting game because of the shock value in the beginning. The Jags, the Jags and the Chiefs, like it was a planned offside kick. I said onside kick off the rip, and they got it, but they couldn't score. That's the thing. And the Chiefs defense is definitely leaky, but I don't know how they couldn't have scored. Like they had, like even to kick a field goal. I know a lot. They had many opportunities to score, but the kicker kept selling. The kicker sold him like twice or 3 times, something like that. And that's just when your kicker makes a field goal, it's like, all right, cool. We do with something. When they miss a field goal, you're like, damn, we did all that, milked all that clock for us not to score at all. That's deflating. I can't relate because I got the GOAT, Justin Tucker. But hey, the Chiefs, they came in, they didn't underestimate their opponents. They just came in and they got to work. Kadarius Toney is definitely paying out. This is what the Giants wanted. Someone who could get yards at the yak. Just get the yak. That's what he was known for in college. They call him the human joystick in college. That he was doing a lot of that on Sunday. I know Juju got hurt. Shout out to Juju. I hope you're all right. But hey, and McCole Hardman got hurt as well. Like, which is weird. Like the whole receiver core is just injured right now. I was like, what the hell? But Kelsey, you know, he won Nick Wright $32,000. Like, hey, he's just him. He's him. He's still the best tight end in the league. I know. I'm a Raiders fan, Mark Andrews, but how dare you? But hey, Travis Kelsey does things so effortlessly where like you can have him like he just improvises and just does his thing and it works out. Versus Mark Andrews, low key has to like he knows how to run this route. He's a great route runner, but getting open, I would say Travis Kelsey has a slight edge over that in that regard than Mark Andrews. But this is not a comparison. Patrick Mahomes is. I know Jake said two was the MVP, but at this moment, I gotta beg to differ. I think Patrick Mahomes is kind of like having that like LeBron, Michael Jordan syndrome, where you don't want to give it to him every year, and someone else, if they pull up with something, then yes. Tua, are you the MVP? We'll talk about the team literally next, but I think Patrick Mahomes at this moment in time, officially halfway through the season, because week 10, everyone played 9 games. I think he's the MVP. But the Jags, again, they're losing games, but they're in the games. Like that's the thing. Like every game they lost, they were in. So they didn't just get spanked off the gym. That's not the gym, off the field. Like nah, they were in every game. So that's something that's good. That comes down to coaching, one, and then their players. They couldn't run the ball with ETN. That was one that we was like, oh, they're gonna make an upset. They're going to have to run the ball. They didn't run the ball a lot with ETN either, but they did a lot of checkdowns. And he had like a lot of receiving yards, but he didn't have the rushing yards where we were like, wait, you got to run the ball, milk the clock to keep the ball away, but they couldn't do that. But shout out to the Chiefs. They're now the 1 seed in the AFC. And the hard part of the schedule is over. And I was uneasy. I think their hardest 2 games is the Chargers this week and the Bengals. Other than that, in Seattle, I'll say that definitely is a challenging game. Like, it definitely can go either way. But those, like, that's the light part of the schedule is now. They went 7-2 against every team they played. Like, every team they played was above 500 last year. Like, that's a tough ass schedule. I lied. I'm lying. I'm lying. But it was some stat. I'm sorry, some stat. I'm chatting, but
they were 6-2 against the teams, 8 teams that were above 500. That was our first 8 games. The teams finished above 500. The Jags, notwithstanding, they were now 7-2 because they beat the Jags. And now the easy part of the schedule, except for the Chargers, we'll get to them later on. We're gonna move a little bit faster, but before that, Chiefs, 70% on third down, that'll pay. Now take it. Extending drives and going into the end zone and not scoring field goals. Just simple as that. They scored every time. Most of the time they wanted to score, and then simple as that. They scored 27. It should be 28, but Bucker missed.
Harrison Bucker, he keeps missing his extra points.
But it's weird when your team averages 8 yards a play and has 3 total turnovers, and the other team has none. And then you still win by comfortable. Like, that's just unfair. And that's just unfair. Next, we got Browns at Dolphins. Talking about Tua, man, that offense. And Tyreek Hill had like the greatest game ever. He only had like 50-something yards receiving. But like, this is where like teams don't understand. This is what I love about Miami. Yeah, there's basically 4-4 speed across the board. Everyone can run a 4-4. Cool. But they're like, all right, Tyreek's not going off. Waddle's being in check a little bit. We have other guys that can get it done. And they ran the ball. Tua didn't have to do much. I mean, Tua did, I think, had like 300 yards passing again. But he didn't have to have that. They ran the ball so well. Raheem Mostert, shout out to him. Jeff Wilson, the trade acquisition that they had, like, that's awesome. Like, Jeff Wilson had 119 yards rushing. Like, that'll pay. That'll pay. Like, yeah, Waddle had 66 yards and Tyreek Hill had 44. But they didn't need 2 people going off. They needed everybody kind of dispersed, kind of like the Chiefs. Hey, yeah, Travis Kelce's going to get his, but like everybody just was able to get receptions and continue to move and change. And eventually the Browns, they want to run the ball. They don't want to throw the ball and have a track meet with people. They want to control time possession, run the ball with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and keep it close. But eventually, when you run, and the other team can gash you for 70 yards, and it's like, damn, we can't run the ball because Bradley Chubb, shout out to him, he's coming out to his own, and he's getting into the backfield a lot. And Emmanuel Ogbah as well, Kyle Van Noy. Like, there's not Kyle Van Noy, he's on the chart. Sorry, there's another linebacker that they have. Well, I think it's Van Noy.
No, Van Noy's on the Chargers.
Ingram. There we go. Melvin Ingram. That's the person I'm thinking about. It's like you got players that are making plays on the defense as well. And Xavier Howard, corner for the Dolphins, he's still elite. Like, You got players making plays, and this is like probably the best game for for Miami. They didn't need Tua and Tyreek to go bonkers. They just needed to control time possession, and they did.
True.
Simple as that.
Not really much to say. I only called the upset because I thought they were gonna run the ball well, and they didn't. Nick Chubb had a rare fumble. First quarter, before half, they were like being in the game, but then the third quarter, as you mentioned, they snapped and it was 30 something. Like
Yeah.
shit like that is why people are scared of the Dolphins. But dude said to his MVP, no, you can't miss games. I know it was injured, but I know they're undefeated every game that he starts and finishes. But he has home field in his division. Can he keep it up? Can he keep it up?
For sure.
I
That's it.
still think Patrick Mahomes, but because you don't want to go to Buffalo in January, you rather be chilling in the crib in January in Miami. And I know these boys from Florida, Waddle and Hill and two is from Hawaii, like they don't want to go. They don't want to see Buffalo in January. Trust me, I haven't been to Buffalo. But I went to school upstate New York. That shit cold. That shit's cold. They don't want to run in that. They don't. So they gonna try to win out as much as possible. But hey, Tua is still, there's still little question marks about it. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
Dolphins play at Bills week 15, so in the middle of December.
And
So
then they pay the Patriots week 17 or something like that.
yeah. So
Shit.
no, Patriots. No, they play the Jets. They play the Jets at Miami week 18. Sorry, we said week 17.
I said 17.
Sorry. Where you at? Yeah, Cole. So hopefully they can rack up some wins. But we'll talk about their schedule. This is not a scheduled show. This is a recap show, at least for for Tuesday nights. Texans and Giants.
Real quick,
It'll work.
Baquan.
It'll work. It'll work. They took care of business. They ran the ball. Daniel Jones being reined in. Man, Brian Dable got to be coach of the year, man.
Got
it. They're not being flashy. They're not blowing teams out, but they're taking care of business and not turning the ball over. They're forcing turnovers and they're not turning the ball over. That's a winning recipe. That's what you got to do.
And just Baquan. Just Baquan, son.
Just Baquan.
There's not really much to say. Like, everyone knew that the Giants were going to win this game, and they won.
Yeah.
Good shit.
We're on our lock in before we tweak out because this is one of those. Like, all right, you guys are set. Like, you guys are 6-2. Like
with expectations now, like
exactly expectations. They want you. We want you to be good and beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. And we put the Bears on there. Like we put Justin Fields. Like pick aside, he didn't really win the game, and he was supposed to win. The Giants took care of business. Texans had no business being close, but the Giants somehow, somebody want to make things close. And now we get to pain, sadness.
And before you do that, I said quote it, why is Jameis not starting? I've been saying it when they play the Ravens. I was like, why is Jameis not starting? If we were talking about this on the plane. If Andy Dalton's healthy, Jameis is healthy, his ankle's good, his back is good, everything is good. Why is he not starting? Why? Because he makes the mistakes. But in this day and age, stationary passers like Andy Dalton, they're a rare breed. They're a dying breed. He's the last of a dying breed.
Yeah. Brady,
Rodgers, even Rodgers moves a little bit. Stafford, not really, but last of a dying breed. Jameis is younger, better arm, and I know the mistakes are prone to happen, but he can make plays, my brother. He can make plays. So moving forward, I expect Jameis to play. That's a next week's show. Well, that's a tomorrow's show, but hey, Steelers took care of business defensively. Offensively, didn't really do too much. Now they took a scary hit, but came back. I was happy. But like, hey, be like that sometimes. So shout out to the Steelers, bum ass Steelers.
my cat.
They gotta rally. They gotta make a run. If not now, then when?
That's all nice. All pleasantry. All pleasantry. All right. Where do I start? Where do I start?
Get shit. Get the stats out. Get the stats out.
No, I can't. It's not even stats. It's from the heart this time, bro. Like, I mean, we'll get to talk about stats in a second, but we made Kenny Pickett look like prime Lamar Jackson.
Damn.
We made Kenny Pickett. Picks in his fucking name, bruh. No interceptions. No, none. Zero. No fumbles. None. No turning the ball over. Per usual. They had 200 yards rushing. That ain't the Saints defense, I know. We had 29. 29. Now Pickett, not great. They had 5 yards of play. We had 4 yards of play. He had 6 sacks. Cool. Great. That just shows that the offensive line for the Steelers fucking sucks because we know they do. But what have I always said verbatim every single show? Don't turn the ball over and don't commit penalties. The interceptions, that's on to Andy Dalton. Get him off my team. We had him because he didn't turn the ball over. We were winning games or scoring points, a lot of points, and he wasn't turning the ball over. Great. We were able to run the ball. Now, everybody's going to say injuries. We're hurt to shit. We had literally like 8 guys on our key inactive list. Like when the Fox broadcast talks about who's out, we had like 8 guys. Like, we're hurt. So what? Chargers are hurt. They're competitive with one of the best teams in the NFC. We'll talk about them later. We are hurt. Yes, we get it. But doing more with less. Doing more with the pieces that you have. That comes to coaching. Dennis Allen got to go. Because penalties, 10 penalties. 10 versus 3. 3 penalties. Pittsburgh Steelers. They don't penalize themselves. Mike Tomlin damn sure ain't letting you have more than 5 penalties. They don't penalize themselves. They don't beat themselves up. Fucking Brian Daboll. You wouldn't know why I say he coach of the year? Because they were about to go for it in like a 4th and 1 on their opposing 30. Or they were like opposing 35. They were like, all right, fuck, we're going to go for it. False start on the left tackle. Force him to kick a field goal instead of go for it. He chewed out his whole offensive line. Dumb penalties. We don't do that here in New York. That's the kind of coach that I need. That's the kind of coach all football fans should want. Someone vocal, someone who cares, someone who shows that, you cannot make mistakes and be okay with that. When you make mistakes and no one calls you out on it, it's like, all right, cool. I can make these mistakes because no one's going to call me out on it. Sean Payne is one of the best coaches ever in the league, and people respected that man, feared that man because we made mistakes, we fumbled the ball, we do anything in it, like just you kill yourself, you kill your team, he will chew you the fuck out. Dennis Allen, just a rough day at the office. Well, how many rough days can you have before you get fired? In the real world, if you have 4 or 5 or 7 bad days in the offices, eventually you're going to get fired, right? The same rules apply for the NFL. Any job you go in, you have 1 bad day in office, fine, that's, penalties, turnovers, like the Eagles. Terrible day in office, just throw the game field out. You try 4 turnovers, that's not good. Cool. But they were 8-0. They were winning games. We're now 3-6 in the worst division in football. Yeah, and the sad fact is, I still have hope. We can go on a run. I still have hope that we can get our shit together. We have the pieces. Kamara, one of the best running backs in the league. Jarvis Landry, one of the better receivers. One of the better ones. I'm not saying he's like top 10, top 20. But hey, serviceable. Chris Olave. Budding star. Defense, stars all over the board. Lattimore hopefully comes back soon. It all starts with coaching. It all starts with your want to and your ability to lead men. It shouldn't be the players having to have conversations in the locker room.
Oh, chicken Siri, my bad. Hold on.
You shouldn't have to have players.
You
You shouldn't have to have players lead conversation in the locker room. You shouldn't have to. It should be a coach. The buck stops with him. But going 25% on third down, having 21 minutes of total possession. And somehow, somebody, every single time after the first half, when there's like a minute left, that's when the offense wants to get shit together. Every single game. Every single game. But Andy Dalton has to be benched. Jameis Winston needs to be starting. Give us some energy. Give us some juice. Yes, he might turn the ball over. He might have 4 picks in the game. That is fine. I don't care. Because you know what? He's going to make a play that makes it all worthwhile. Andy Dalton is not doing that. We've seen Andy Dalton's career. He's not good. And I was blinded by the fact that he wasn't turning the ball over. And then we were scoring points. But that 2 pick sixes against the Cardinals, a team we should have beaten the brakes off of. We lost that game because of him. Dennis Allen having beef with Jameis for whatever reason. I don't know. But frankly, we have a gettable game against the Rams. If not this week, when? Bottom line. Let's move on.
That's a t-shirt. Let's put that on a t-shirt, bro. If not now, then when? I'm just saying, merch next season. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I'm merch next season. If not now, I gotta make a note. I'll do that later. Broncos and Titans, real quick, because time is flying by. What the fuck? This is
didn't watch.
Did not. Nah, I didn't watch it either. Honestly, no. Russell Wilson's trash. We smoking that Hackett packets. Bro, and the Titans won a game they shouldn't have won. Right? If Ryan Tannehill is the reason why you win a game and not Derrick Henry, that's crazy. Yeah. The Broncos defense is literally trying their best to carry. Like they lost the game and he allowed 17 points. Like literally, I think that they have one of the best scoring defenses in the league, bro. But their offense is just anemic. Jerry Jeudy went out, I think, a high ankle sprain. So praying for him. Cortland Sutton made a great catch. That was awesome. But they can't run the ball. And Russ, he's forcing passes where he shouldn't be forcing passes. There was like a couple. One for to win the game was picked. Or one to tie the game was picked in the end. Awesome. He threw one in double coverage, and he was lucky it wasn't intercepted. Like, bro, what is life? What's your life like? Like, what's your life like? And we're like on this side, ShabazzTV and Natty Bass, we fading the Broncos the rest of the season. Because even if they're favored, I'm still picking the other team. Because their defense has shown up from week 1 to week 10 every single week. And now they still got 2 more games against the Chiefs and the Ravens. And their first round pick is Seattle's. So it's just insane how we all thought that, we freaking thought like Russell Wilson was the last piece they needed. Bro. But he's really like literally if Drew Lock was there, who knows? They might be even better than what they are. Yeah. They're not saying something because Drew Lock is not that good either.
I just looked at their schedule. You said the defense is playing legit. They played 9 games, right? They're 3-6. Cool.
Yeah.
8 of the 9, their defense allowed 17 or less points.
In the one game was against the Raiders, right when they spanked them.
One game, yeah, they lost by it was 32-23. There was a fumble 6 and all that extra stuff, super score or whatever. 8 out of 9 they allowed 17 or less. 8 or 9 they allowed 20 points or less. So 7 of 9 they allowed 17 points. So it was one game against the Chargers they allowed 19. But Almost every game except for the Raiders game, they allowed 20 points or less.
It's crazy.
And their defense and their offense just can't score. The one game they beat the Chargers, they lost to the Raiders, and then they beat the Jags. The only 2 times they scored about 20. The only 2 times in 9 games.
And they beat the 49ers off of luck.
Bro, that's a damn shame, son. I don't want to talk about this team. Smoking hacky packet. Well, that's it. That's all.
He can't bounce back. He'll bounce back.
Right. Colts Raiders. Ha! Jeff Saturday. Raiders. Jeff Saturday. I'm not saying that was just fluke. It was hilarious. Matt Ryan running 30 yards for whatever. We talked about him dying breed. He was like, no, I'm running. I'm rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, tumbling. It was hilarious to watch. It was like in slow motion. Man, the Raiders. Josh McDaniels, man. That's
sad. That is sad.
That's all I really got to say. Jonathan Taylor, hey, him showing up was good. It's like, hey, where you been at all season? Colts might be able to do something. Might be able to do something.
Salvage the season a little bit. Yeah, man.
But, hey, man, I don't know. It's just a shame. I have no idea how to. I don't know how to whether to feel happy for the Colts or like sad for the Raiders because you lose to a guy who literally like never coached a game in his life in the NFL or in college. So it's like, damn. Well, where do you go from here? You're 2-7.
They're 2-7.
2-7. Oh yeah, they're 2-7. They had a bye already.
It's so long. They
had a bye. You're right. Yeah, they're 2-7. It's like, damn.
2-7. Hey, man, it's a long season still. Hey, salvage it. Go 500 because they have offensively. Actually, not even because Waller's out, Renfro's out. Everyone is double teaming and triple teaming Devontae, but he's still finding ways to get 100-something yards and a touchdown. Like it's hard. It's hard, but there's still no excuse. Like I know that it takes a while to build a foundation, but literally in the worst possible dumpster fire that the Raiders were last year with Henry Ruggs, with John Gruden, all the shit that it was going on, all the adversity, they still managed to be in the playoffs and still managed to be close and had a chance to win that wild card game against the Bengals. So, like, if they doing it that way with this roster, the same roster, only a few, the major addition is Devontae, and he's awesome. But like, you're not even competitive in your division, which is not winnable, but you definitely could beat. You're the last place team in your division. Come on, man. Come on. That's it, man. Now, part of me, I'm mad that I didn't place a live bet for this game. Part of me is mad I didn't, but I'm happy because I love. My record was doomed this week from Thursday. From Sunday at 12 o'clock when the Seahawks lost. My record was doomed, right? So now I'm like, all right, I got the Cowboys winning, but the one thing I was preaching the entire season for the Packers to do was to run the ball and not have Aaron Rodgers throw that much. He threw 20 passes for 3 tutties. They ran the ball for 200 yards on down the Cowboys' throats. You would thought they were down by 14. You would thought, they about to abandon the run zone. But they stayed the course. They were consistent. Aaron Jones and the whole dick. And then when Dak threw the pick, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then in overtime, this is where I'm dragging the Cowboys because they had a chance. I'm on blackjack, I'm buns in football. My knowledge, I'm very conservative. The analytics is bullshit to me. No. If you got points on the board, to put the pressure on somebody to score back, you fucking kick the field goal. And then if you know you're in 2 down territory anyway, why would you make it impossible to convert that? Hey, if you run it on 3rd down, it's shorter distance. Tony Pollard was dogging. You don't. No. This is what we not finna do. Hold on. Hold the fuck on, son. Because what we not gonna do is not act like Tony Pollard did not run the ball for 20. Well, first of all, Tony Pollard, they were saying, he can't run the ball more than 15 times. He ran the ball 22 times for $115 and a tutty, averaging 5 yards a carry. He is the running back one because fuck Zeke. Zeke is washed. Why are you, when you have the lead, why are you having Dak Prescott throw the ball 46 times? The formula for success ever since Dak was a rookie was run the ball more than you pass. When you were winning games with Cooper Rush, you were running the ball and playing defense. That's dominating time of possession, which you did. I think so. I lied. You didn't. Packers had more time in possession. Why? Because they ran the ball. Your running back is dogging. He had 120. He had 115. That's pretty solid. Over 22 carries, 5 yards a clip. I best believe you're on 3rd and 8. You could have easily made it 4th and 3, 4th and 2. CeeDee Lamb had the best game of his career. Spoiled because you want to fucking not kick a field goal. Oh, it's cold in Lambeau. Bullshit. I don't believe that. So Mike McCarthy dropped the Mike McCarthy, bro. You sold. The defense sold. Micah Parsons is out the DPO wires. Nick Bosa in. We'll talk about that later. But I'm happy for Nick Bosa. But we're gonna talk about that later. But like, yo, bro. Shout out to the Packers for finally using the formula that I was trying to preach for like 5 weeks now. And they finally did it. Now, can they be consistent with it and do that week in and week? Because they know that's the blueprint to win games. Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon combined for 200 yards, bro.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Now they play the Titans on Thursday. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. But they are suspect against the run. We'll talk about that tomorrow as well. Packers handled business. The quarterback, the Hall of Fame quarterback, made plays when he was supposed to make plays. Shout out to Christian Watson, because everyone talked about it. Yeah, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 of them things, a hat trick. But another thing too is that like everyone kind of killed him for week 1 when he had like a 75-yard touchdown easy and he dropped it. But him catching the balls he was supposed to catch, making great catches, making great grabs, made it seem it was okay. You can trust him. He's building a little trust. Like he had that trust with Romeo Dobbs, and Romeo Dobbs kind of got hurt or fell off a little bit. I don't know.
He got hurt.
Got hurt. Yeah, boom. So now he's like, all right, I gotta find somebody else to trust. Boom. Watson showed up. Dak though, and this is I'm not saying hey, we love our black quarterbacks here. Dak, I talked about this when we made a quarterback video. Go back and watch that. That was like in July, August. I didn't have Dak in my top 10. You was like, you don't have Dak in your top 10? What? Like, yo, he is not. He has to prove to me that he can be the guy. And hey, he's not. He's not doing it. He's not. He came back against the Lions. They only put up 24 points against them, the lonely Lions. Damn shame. Then they played the Bears. Yeah, you score 40-something points. Cool. But we know the Bears defense ain't that good either. Then you play an actual, like, decent defense. Not the best, not the worst, but all right, serviceable. And, yeah, scored 28 points. But you had a 14-point lead. And, blame Mike McCarthy as well. But literally, I saw something on Get Up this morning. He has like the lowest in like the last 10 years. Has like the lowest like third down, like in the fourth quarter. He has the lowest third down and fourth down conversion percentage.
But you know it's something when you're in the same stat as Tim Tebow.
That's a damn shame. And
That's
that
a
on
damn
that
shame.
note, the Cowboys gotta get that shit together. They're peak contender for the LIBITO list.
Do we want to talk about this game?
No, pass. Cardinals won.
Real quick though, I will say it's a
Cup.
damn shame this season
Cooper
for
Kupp
Cooper
being
Cup.
hurt. Cooper Kupp getting hurt. That's the hurt. That's the thing. I'm like, damn. It's like fuck. It's like literally, and this is and the last. I'll say this really quickly. Worst Super Bowl winner hangover ever. We talk about the Super Bowl hangover being for the losers, but the Bengals are like they fine. They're 5-3. They're chilling. Now it's like, damn. Okay, well, I think 5-4. I think they're 5-4. I think they're 5-4 actually. I don't know off the top of my head.
5-4.
Boom, cool. But like the Rams, their fall from grace is crazy, and they have no first round picks for the next like 10 years. They have no cap money. They're stuck with Matthew Stafford, who's injury prone now. It's like, damn, like you're in a lose situation right now. Like, yeah, and you got aging stars in the defense. That's just where do we go from here? Rams, where do you go from here?
Mm.
You're not making the playoffs, that's for sure.
Playoffs.
And they'll be like the first team to win a Super Bowl who didn't make the playoffs.
We got the after.
Yeah.
But moving on to better teams, I think the only thing I'll say is two things. One, the 49ers for some reason, well, I don't know. People thinking Debo's overrated. I don't know. But I will say that this season he's leaving a lot to be desired. Everyone thought he was gonna like continue that wide back, but someone said I think it was a player choice. Like he doesn't have good hands. He's more of an athlete than a wide receiver. Brandon Ayuk is looking like he was dogging. He was eating. Now I know JC Jackson's out. I know it's a lot going on, but Brandon Ayuk was making plays the entire game. The entire game. And I know he was so mad when he got the touchdown and then Christian McCaffrey came in for the last second. I was like, damn. But Jimmy G is going to be the reason why they win and also going to be the reason why they lose because he can't make those throws. That we all like, even Tom Brady at age 45, like he can still make those throws. Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, all the upper echelon quarterbacks can make those throws. But Kyle Shanahan is like, it's the opposite of Josh Allen, where like they're not making him throw it at all. Like, we're gonna be safe and conservative. Like, I think Colin Cowherd said the same. He said, like, yo, like, you know how Josh Allen needs to be reined? Jimmy G needs to be let loose a little bit, like just a little bit. Let him try a couple throws a game where, like, because you have a great defense. You have arguably the best defense in the league. But my last takeaway, I like second last because I keep thinking this shit. If Mike Will and or Keenan Allen was in the game, it's GG's. I think the Chargers win that game if Mike Will and or Keenan Allen was in. The defense tried its best. They were playing inspired early on. They tried. They allowed 22 points. That's not bad. That's not bad. Justin Herbert tried his best, and they were playing good football, pretty good football. But when it came to Justin Herbert made a mistake, he threw a pick to Mufanga. I said Mufanga, right? That's his name? Whatever. The Chopin model's apprentice or whatever. Yeah. Like, that happens. I'm like, damn, like, that's tough, but, like, what are you going to do? Yeah. So, but then now I'm like, why the fuck do they have back-to-back Sunday night football games? No one talks about that. No one talks about it.
No, they do because it got flexed.
I know it got flexed, but, like, I'm just saying, like, why? Like, bro, boo. Put the Ravens on something. No, I'm joking. That was like literally the best like scenario, so I get it. But damn, that's it. That's all my takeaways for this game.
Keep mine short. Chargers need to get healthy, and it's sad because it's like everyone talks about rosters and like the Niners and the Chargers are similar in a lot of ways. A lot of ways they're similar, where it's like, oh, They have talented people across the board, offensively, defensively. Quarterback, obviously, Chargers have a better quarterback. But when it comes to like every single year, Chargers somehow, some way. Keenan Allen, not it. It's missing like 5-6 games in a row. Like Williams, now he's just starting to get hurt a little bit. It's like something's in the water in now in Los Angeles, where players are getting hurt. And Brandon Staley, just all I gotta say is oof. And speaking of oofs, last game, Monday night, the last unbeaten goes down. I keep it super short and simple. Super. Oh my god, I talk all day and now I get tongue tied. Super short and simple. You don't turn the ball over. Don't commit penalties. Any team can get got, especially the lowly Commanders. You have 3 fumbles and 1 pick. That's 4 total turnovers. That's not gonna win you games at all, and nor should it. So that's all I mean, this this is the first time the Eagles had to play a close game in the second half.
True.
Every other game they've played, like they've been able to just cruise control and run the ball. They got away from their identity. They had to throw the ball. They had to throw. They don't want to. Yeah, Jalen Hurts can do it, and that he threw a beautiful ball to Quez Watkins.
Caught it. He had to jump.
Came down with it, and then fumbled it afterwards. That's not on Hurts, and Hurts shouldn't be dinged for that the offense only scored 21 points. Oh, cool, Commanders. It's a division rival, division games that keep things tight anyway. True. But like, damn, like he got like his team just kept like coughing up the ball. Like, yeah, that pick he threw, not necessarily great, but the defense, and I talked about it before, underrated. Jordan Davis getting hurt. Like I talked about, I was like, yo, teams can run on the Eagles now. And dude, the Commanders had 40 minutes of time of possession.
Yeah, that's insane.
40 minutes. It's like, damn. Like, I mean, turnovers don't help your case. But, like, rushing yards. The Commanders had 152 yards rushing. That'll work. The Eagles had 94. So it's like, damn. And
that pissed me off, too.
Eagles had 7 penalties. 7 penalties. But then, boom, they had 3 fumbles and a pick. That's going to lose you games, no matter how great you are. No matter how great you are. And the Eagles got. Now, the time will tell whether this is a continued trend or downward spiral or this just a blip in the road, blip in the radar. But they lost. Commanders celebrate the win, and Taylor Heineke gets to buy a new pair of kicks for an Eagles colors for being an Eagle. So shout out to him, shout out to them, and Eagles, go ahead. Are you the team of destiny, or are you gonna choke like most teams do recently and just go fall apart? Time will tell.
Time will tell. My takeaway of this game, bro, fuck the bullshit. I ain't gonna cap. Why do they? Let me pull it up so I know what I'm talking about. Hold on. Stand by.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I had a good time watching football this weekend.
They ran the ball 20 times the entire game. Bro, Jalen, I know they didn't have the time of possession. I know they did not. But why aren't they running the ball first with Miles Sanders? There was like, and then no disrespect, because professionals for me. Who the fuck is Kenneth Gainwell, bro? Who is this guy? Why is your best running back not getting the touches? Why not? Like, AJ Brown got dinged early. Cool. Big play Slay got cooked. Barbecue chicken by Taylor Heineke and Scary Terry. Like, bro, like my biggest gripe though is like, I know y'all didn't have the time of possession thing, but your defense was playing all right. The defense couldn't get a stop. Jordan Davis being out definitely matters. That definitely matters. You are 100% correct, sir. But that's still no excuse to running the ball 20 times as a team. Running back. Miles Sanders is supposed to get 20 touches himself. But you only run it as a team. You're doing a lot of quarterback keeps with Jalen Hurts. I'm like, yo, bro, why?
Hello, everyone.
Sorry.
I'm like, dude, like, it's little things like that where I'm like, yo, there's kinks in that armor. And we saw it against the Texans last week. We're like, yo, that's an eye-opening. So if you're the best way to beat this team, because they can't come back. They clearly can't come from. They could have a lead. The same thing happened with Lamar when he was first, like when he was winning games, and like, oh, but he can't win from behind. Jalen Hurts is suffering from that same success because they're blowing teams out, but they're not like they're having good second quarters, but they can't close games. They play a game is 60 minutes. They only play 30. Sometimes even 45 if need be.
The difference between them and the Bills, though, is that they can run the ball. They've shown that they're willing to run the ball and keep away. Now, I'm not saying, oh, you get content and score 21 points and think it's over. No, of course, you want to run the ball, but they have one of the better offensive lines in the league. They have one of the best running games in the league next to Baltimore. Like, they want to run. Like, that's their bread and butter. But when you get behind the 8 ball, you get like, this is the game that's like, okay, it got off schedule. Fuck, we got to throw the ball. And it's like, no. The game was always in reach. They was never being blown out at all. They got you punched. They punched back. It's like, okay, cool. But how do you respond? Do you get off your game plan? Or do you follow what Renell talked about with the Jaguars? I said Jaguars. The Packers. Sorry, think about the Navarre Jaguars real quick. But thinking about the Packers, like, hey, Packers, yeah, they're down 14. We're still going to run the ball. We're still going to we're going to run the ball, make Aaron Rodgers do a little bit less. The Eagles got to learn, yeah, things might get a little shaky, but you're going to run the ball still. You're going to commit to running the ball because they would have won the game if they just said, all right, you think you can stop us? You can't, and we're going to punch you in the mouth back. So they'll be fine, I think.
Hey,
but
any given Sunday, they played a mighty fighting Jeff Saturdays on Sunday. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow, though. But your boy is tired. I know you're tired. But tomorrow we rally again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching. Shout out to Jake, the legend Jake 69. Great name. No, Tua is not the MVP, but you're probably a Dolphins fan. I see Daffy Duck as your. Bless me. Thank you. I see David Duck as your guy, so you might be a Dolphins fan. Probably. But with that said, though, I'm Shabazz. That's your boy, Natty Baps. Like this video, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
It's funny, I know about it. Certain to somebody.